I was asked to take a look at this large valley oak. It's, I'd say it's a medium large. It's not an enormous tree, but it's probably 70, 80 years old. When you look at the trunk of the tree down low, it's about 3.5 feet in diameter, and you can see some very large limbs were removed when they built the house. Now the client's concern is based upon, you look way up there, you can see a branch that's broken, and he's concerned about anything too heavy over the roof. But I'm a little bit more concerned about what I see at the base of this tree. Whenever I find a tree that's been, well, the house has been located next to the tree, I always worry about roots that were severed along the foundation and instabilities. But when I find old wounds like this, even though you can see they're callousing over, they do lead to hollows. And in this case, this limb right here, this is kind of a plug here, so it's got an area of decay that is connecting to the decay down over on this side, and it's got a bit of a tight union right here with a little bit of a catch pocket down here. Now if this was out in the open, I wouldn't be as concerned, but because it's right next to the house, I start adding things up, and the weight of this limb here is entirely over the structure. So what this tree needs may be more about how do we ensure that it's not going to break and fall on the roof. I don't see anything that's just screaming at me, no signs of insect activity. There aren't any fungal brackets that I can see. Down here, that might be a little bit of a void. But it's large enough that if there were a failure to occur, it could be devastating. And over on the other side of the front yard is another even larger valley oak. The tree looks pretty good, but it's the proximity to the structure that I am a little bit worried about. It's about 3 feet from the edge of the house. And the possibility of root severing and long-term root decay is always something that I pay attention to, but you can't always see it, especially when it happened so long ago. It is right up next to the edge of the house. There's a large wound right there to the left that was taken off. It's got a nice balance. I do see some old wounds up there that may be leading to some weaknesses. There's quite a bit over that portion of the house, and he indicated he's also concerned about his television reception, so I'm not quite sure what to do about that. Now one thing I am concerned about is there's a little bit of a decay pocket here, and there's a weakness right up and through here. And if that does fail, that will fall off under the edge of the garage. There's a few old wounds throughout the tree. I'd recommend a little bit of weight reduction just to minimize the leverage on some of these branches. It's been quite a few years since anything has been done on this tree, and I do believe it's getting a little bit heavy. You know, around the back side of the house, there's another valley oak that has just sort of erupted. And it's a young tree, but it's growing entirely over the structure. And I don't know, it's an easy decision now. You could get rid of it, but in time that may be more of a nuisance. So it's just something to consider. It would just add to the amount of leaf drop on the roof. And you have plenty of trees in the area, so I don't think you necessarily need another oak towering over the roof. Now at the back of the property and around the decks, you have a number of oaks. These are principally the blue oaks, as well as some valley oaks. They don't look bad, but they're starting to get a little bit of congestion. It's been a while since we've worked on them. Being in a location that's not over the house, the urgency is not as great. There's one that's been going to cut around the deck here. This needs to be paid attention to because it looks like it's almost touching right here, so you might want to make an additional cut here. If this moves in the wind, it may strain the deck. I don't see any structural weaknesses associated with this cutout, so I would just I would add a couple inches there. Now, we've always kept the branches away from the fireplace just to keep the fire marshal happy, and I would recommend, you know, continuing on with this just to keep this area clear. Not a big job, but if you keep up on it, it doesn't become a problem.